A state of emergency has been declared on the Greek island of Santorini following several days of tremors. At least 11,000 people have fled the popular tourist destination. The Greek Earthquake Authority has recorded more than 6,000 tremors off the coast in the last 2 weeks. The emergency declaration was made after a magnitude 5.2 earthquake shook the area. Experts say the region has not experienced this level of seismic activity since 1964.
We have a fairly high number of earthquakes with magnitudes above 4. We also had a tremor of magnitude 5.2 that does not significantly alter the overall picture. We are not yet in a position to say that we see any indication suggesting the sequence is gradually coming to an end. We are still in the middle of the process.
Tour guide Kostas Sakavaris chose to evacuate earlier this week. He says despite the island being used to minor tremors, the intensity came as a shock.
If I'm not wrong, from Friday it had started slightly having some tremors. On Saturday we hosted a dinner with friends and we were kind of joking about it. That, oh my God, yeah, it's kind of shaking. And suddenly on Sunday we found ourselves on the ferry leaving the island. Not so much in a panic mode, but the intensity of these tremors kept us kind of on high alert. And one important factor, schools were announced closed for the week, but I'm afraid it's going to take longer than this. So there was absolutely no reason for us to remain at home. We moved to Athens.
Can you take us through what that process was like and where you are now?
We took our car, our dog, we took just very basic things because we never thought it would take more than a few days. But everything else was just smooth. We had not even to pre-book any ticket. We went straight down to the port and purchased the tickets for everybody in the car, and we came over.
I know you've felt tremors before, but what makes what's happened over the last week different than what you've felt previously?
The persistency of it, that it lasts for so many days, and the frequency of tremors every hour, about 7 to 10. On the meanwhile, I think Santorini must have had over 1,000 tremors. I didn't check the statistics, but the number is just mind-bending.
And can you give us an idea of what that feels like in the moment?
More scary is the noise, the sound that comes with it. You know, when an earthquake happens, there is some certain sound and things kind of in the house making sounds too. And this was something though you always are afraid it's going to get worse. But I have to tell nothing happened so far. It's just this constant tension, this constant noise, these tremors that happen over and over again without any buildings collapsing or things falling off the shelves and frames. No, nothing happened in terms of material damage.
Yes.
Some landslides on the edge of the cliffs, but this is something normal. It does not need an earthquake to happen. Sometimes with strong winds, we do have this mini dust particles and pebbles falling off the cliffs. Santorini is a very steep island.
So even without damage, as you say, at the moment, what is it like in Santorini for now? Do you have friends or family who have stayed, and have they given you an idea of what it's like there?
Yes. It's very, very quiet. There are supermarkets still operating properly. There are a few restaurants that are operating properly. Those who stayed behind are asked, like we asked our neighbors, to keep an eye on the house we left behind, because there are also stories about looters coming from the mainland while the locals are leaving. There are people who are going the other way around. The island is just open. So anybody who is more shadowy and trying to break into homes, this would be the ideal time to do so.
And do you have an idea yet of how long it's going to be before you can get back home?
I wish I had, no. I will just consider the sign, the announcement that the schools will open as the sign for us to return. But already tomorrow we have an appointment in our Athenian neighborhood for sending our kids for the upcoming week in an Athens public school.
Yeah, it's obviously not quite the tourism season at the moment, but are you confident that you'll be able to get back there when the tourists want to head back?
Yes, I want to believe and staying positive that this situation will not last too long. Thankfully, it happens very early before the season actually starts, so there is time to heal and move on.